Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 9 of our Transport Fever 2 Let's Play. If you guys are new to this series, definitely check out some of the older videos. And if you're a returning viewer, as always, like and comment, let me know how I'm doing, and subscribe for more videos. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into episode 9 here. And we're down here by the Falmouth Farms. Just wanted to take a look, and if you kind of look over here, you're going to start to see an issue that I actually just noticed right before we started recording. This wasn't where I planned to start off in the episode, but I just saw it, so I figured we'd fix it really quick. And the issue here is that we are not producing enough grain. This has been completely maxed out, and now we've got a queue of vehicles, and as a result, if you come up here, this is, it's still doing okay. It's got a little bit of grain, but I think we can really start to incorporate this second farm over here in Chatham. So, to do that, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here to Falmouth Grain. And why don't we sell maybe, I don't know, maybe two of these vehicles? We'll sell maybe 2 of those, and then we'll come over here and we'll get this set up so that we have another vehicle on here. Got a little bit of traffic here. I would love to throw some bus lanes on here, but I'm just worried that that's going to incentivize driving. I don't know. We'll have to figure out how we want to do that. But first off, let's kind of take a look here and figure out where we can fit truck stop to get some food. And I'm thinking maybe like right here. So why don't we throw one of these down? I'll get rid of this. We'll expand this a little bit. And then maybe I'll put a building on there just to buffer it a little bit. And now we'll go ahead and get our entry and exit in there. Then I'll come through here and just kind of smooth this out a little bit. There we go. So now that's in catchment here. And now we just need to figure out how to get these trucks all the way up here to drop off. So I think the way that we're going to do that, I guess they could hop onto this main road and we could just watch it, because I just don't want them to get stuck in all this traffic. But I think for now it'll be okay. So why don't we go ahead and get a new line on here. And I think I'll use this same platform to drop off. They'll wait for full load before they leave, and then when they get here, I don't want them to load anything at Falmouth, because they're just going to be dropping off food, or dropping off grain. So this is going to be Chatham to Brockton grain. Or no, sorry. Just Chatham to Falmouth grain. Just like that. And why don't we come back over here, and now we can start to get some vehicles on here. So let's come in. I think we're using, let's see, yeah, we can use these flatbeds. So why don't we get maybe 8 to start? I think that should work. Yeah, we should start to see some grain on here. Awesome. So, the reason that I actually saw that is because we were going to start down here in Falmouth. And Cooper Kidd, I think is who it was. Cooper Kidd made a good point about setting up some ferries between some of these cities. So I think that's what we're going to start with. And let's see how the terrain will look if I got a ferry right in here. Yeah, that would work. And then we would just have to kind of adjust this bus route to come down and hit the ferry. So let's see, if we were going to do that, if we got our ferry building in here, maybe like right there. And then I'm going to do a little destruction here, so bear with me. but if we take a 2-lane road, we pull that over there with some bus lanes. I'm just going to drag it out. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I might connect it up right here. So a lot of creative destruction going on here. Just bear with me. So we'll get a 4-lane with bus lanes. Bring that down there, and then I'll probably... just trying to make a nice smooth connection over here. So let's see if I keep that flat, and then kind of connect that in there. And then maybe delete that one out. Come through here and just smooth that out. And then I'll probably... so we're going to reroute this bus right down here to this ferry. So let's do that. So Falmouth counterclockwise after Walnut. I'll get rid of that. And I want them to come down there. And then Falmouth clockwise after 8th Street. Come down here, and I want them to stop at platform 2. After, yeah, like that. That's what I want them to do. Because then they'll go up to Walnut, and then 4th Street, yeah. Okay, so now they're going to stop at that ferry. So I can delete these waypoints, and then I'm actually going to downgrade... actually, I'm going to leave the bus lanes on there because we've got cargo using that road. But okay, now that'll all rebuild itself in there, hopefully. But now we have a ferry stop integrated into our bus network. And that's going to come over here to Oak Bluffs. And I think we'll probably put the ferry maybe right here. So if we come in here with a ferry stop, kind of put it in right there. And then similarly, I'm going to do a little bit of editing in here to make this work. So let's see if I put that road in there and maybe connect it up right here and then right in there. We'll get some bus lanes there. Not sure what's going on here with this road. I think I'll delete that inside one. Truthfully, I don't really need 2 stops. So I think for now we'll just do 1. So maybe I'll put it there. And we'll come in here and delete this stop. So now if we set up a new line, this will be a bus route, and this will be Oak Bluffs counterclockwise. And this will be bus to Ferry counterclockwise. Just planning on there being another route there in the future. And we can come in here and maybe get a depot somewhere out of town. Can tuck it in like right here. Now why don't we get some buses on here? Maybe 2 buses for now. And now we can go ahead and set up a new line. Just bouncing back and forth between there. Maybe we'll make it a dark blue. And let's have them wait for a full load for 60 seconds. So this will be our first ferry route, and this will be Falmouth to Oak Bluffs. And now we're going to need one of these. Let's see if I can fit it in right here. Nope. Maybe I can fit it in down here. So we'll fit it in like right there. Come in and kind of smooth this out a little bit. Okay. So now let's take a look. We've got a small platform on there, and I think we're going to use a small passenger ship. I really like this Frontenac. It's not the fastest, but this isn't really a very long trip, and I just don't know how many people are going to use it, so I'm trying to go with something a little cheap. So I think we'll go with one of these, and we'll throw that on that line and just see how it does. Smooth that out. Smooth this out. And hopefully they start kind of developing in here, and we can hopefully get some passengers down here to take the ferry. And then similarly, I want to come over here and put in a Chatham to Nantucket route. So I think the smart place for the stop will be right here. And I can actually get it right on the corner here. So why don't we do that? And then similarly, I'll come in here with a bus stop. Maybe there. And then maybe another stop down here. And now I would like to connect this back up. So why don't we take this and just bend that right into there. Remove the bus lanes on there. And I think just for the looks of it, I'll have them hit this waypoint here, just that it's a nice clean route. And now this will be Nantucket, bus to ferry. And this will be counterclockwise as well. Truthfully, Nantucket's so small and it's so limited by space, I don't know if they will ever need multiple stops or you know, a line running in both directions, but I think for now we'll just think that maybe they will. And now I need to kind of figure out where to put this, so I might just jam it in here. Might get rid of that road. We'll just smooth out a lot of this stuff. So now let's see if we can get some buses on here. I might get 2. And we'll throw them onto that line. And now that's in catchment there. Just smooth this out again. And now let's go over to Chatham and see where we can fit in a stop. And ideally, I would love to connect this. So let's see if we can. So if I were to put like a road in here. Now see, it doesn't connect there. It does connect there. So let's see what I can do. So if I grab a road here, and I connect it up like that, and then I just put like a little offshoot like that, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in there, and then come through here and fix this. so that we can get the level right. So if I put a road in right here, connect that in, and then connect that in. I'm going to put a road in here, and then I'm going to lock this road so that they don't build all the way through. But now that's in catchment of that stop. And now we can establish a new line between there. Let's make this maybe a green color. I'll have them wait for 60 seconds for a full load. And this will be our ferry route from Chatham to Nantucket. And now let's go ahead and get a ferry, get a ferry on there. This isn't taking anybody yet. There's no one down here yet, but hopefully that'll kick off. We've got some passengers down here that want to actually go up there. So that's good. And then this is in catchment of this stop, which is great, because that just means that these people can now hop right on a bus here and take it wherever they want to go. And now coming in here, I might try and turn these lights off just to get them to flow a little bit better. There's some interesting stuff going on with the terrain here. But okay. Ideally, what I would love to do is turn off, like, the left turn here, but can't do that. If this was City Skylines, I could do that. So these are filling up with some grain, taking it up there. Let's see how these are doing. We really need some more vehicles on this food route. Might get 2 more. And then, I don't know if this is going to make a difference, but I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to take this all the way down, so that they just leave as fast as they can, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. They're not picking up anything anyway. But hopefully we'll be able to get a bit more grain into that facility and keep us moving. So, Cooper Kid, or Copper Kid, whichever way you pronounce it, I apologize. Thank you for the recommendation. And this is actually great. We got 60 people waiting here to take this ferry, which I think is going to be really good. Nice. Anybody down here? Oh yeah, tons of people down here wanting to take this ferry. Awesome. And then anybody up here? 1. Not bad. And this ferry's just arriving now. But okay. So now, coming up to Boston, I noticed this when I loaded the game up. So if we come up here, Boston's road layout is a disaster, which is actually really applicable to the real city of Boston. Its road layout is horrible. But I think we're going to try and fix it if we can. The first thing that I want to fix is this machine's delivery is doing all sorts of weird things, and it's coming through all this residential area, which I don't want it to do. So I think we're going to try and incentivize it to not do that. And the way that there are a couple ways that I think we could do that, but I think the easiest is I'm going to delete out some of these roads. So I'm going to delete these out, and now I'm going to take a road. Let's see, I'll start with one of these. Actually, no. I'll start with a 4-lane. And I'm just going to take it, and I want to drag it just straight up here. And I want it to have bus lanes. And then I'm going to take this and just curve it in here. Connect that up. And why don't I just go ahead and help the city here. I'm just going to delete that out. We'll connect that up. Okay, but now we got some bus lanes here. I'm going to upgrade these to also have bus lanes. And just like that, it's going to stick to those bus lanes, and it's going to drive itself in. Now, the bus route, on the other hand, is something that really needs to be fixed. If we come in here, you can see that we're missing out on, like, this whole chunk of the city. Down here's getting served pretty well. Up here's getting served pretty well, so we're kind of missing out on, like, a few houses up here, but that's not the end of the world. And then this is catching... You know, it's missing out on a couple down here, but also not the end of the world. But I think I'm going to get rid of this stop. And I'm going to put some 4-lane roads through here. To improve the connectivity and then also to help this develop. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple bus stops here. And then why don't we come up here, I'm going to put 4-lane road coming up here. And then maybe go down this road. Like that. And now I'm actually going to delete these roads. And connect that all the way through. And then why don't we put... So let's see, if I get rid of these stops... So those are catching to down there. I might put some stops here, and then those are catching out to there. So I think that this will work a little bit better. So now if we come into these lines... So let's delete all of these. So spruce, and I'm going to delete these as well, just so that they're out of the way. So this is the counterclockwise, so we want to go in this direction. So we'll start here. We'll come down here. And then we'll come up there. But after spruce, I want you to hit that waypoint. So that's the new route. And now the clockwise one is going to go in the opposite direction. Like that. So that's the new route that I want these buses on. And these have 2 buses. I might add 1 more to each line. But I think that that's going to work a lot better. And now if you see, we don't have any buses using this road. So I'm going to come through here. And I'm going to downgrade this road. To not have bus lanes, because it doesn't need them, because there are no buses or cargo using that road. And I think that that should work better. And then similarly, there's actually no buses using this section of road either. No buses or cargo. And then there's none using this. Okay, so that should work. And now let's see, we got a bunch of trucks waiting. This is coming in with machines, full load. So let's see. I think we're still, yeah, we're getting completely starved for steel here. Okay. So now let's take a look at this. This could use a second train, and then I'm going to edit this and increase the capacity up to maximum. And now this steel train, I'm also going to increase the capacity here. So why don't we bring that up to max as well. because I think it can take it. Let's just speed this up here. And let's see if it takes the full load. Yep, it does. And now it should take off, go in the other direction, and bring that steel up there. But you can see we've got a ton of coal now. Balancing this line is a little interesting, but I think it's doing okay. And we should have, yeah, our other iron train coming on there now. And interesting, that's waiting there. So I think I'll add a one-way signal right here. Should have had one there. Anyway. Okay, so now that's set up. So, moving on, I want to start to get Springfield working, and you can see the Springfield demands machines and food, and I think we're going to focus on food for right now. And the way that I think we're going to do that is we're going to activate this farm, Springfield farm. We're going to train some grain down to this livestock farm, and then move the livestock down here to the meat processing, and then over to this food processing plant, and then back. So to do that, the first thing that I want to do is I want to fit a rail station right in here, inside of this farm. So if we just kind of speed this up for a second, get that out of the way. And then we can come through here and delete this out a little bit. Delete out some of this road. And now we should be able to fit a 240 meter station in here. But what I would love to do is get this to line up. So if we move this kind of down here. Maybe to there. And now we add our pass-through tracks. And that doesn't quite line up the way that I wanted it to, so let's come back through here. So let's see, if I pull this out, maybe to here. I'm going to delete out a little bit more of this track. And I connect that up there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and edit this. I'm going to add in all of those tracks. And then add the platforms in. And then we'll come in here and add these cargo buildings down here. Like that. And now if I grab a road, yeah, I can just connect that up like that. So now this, oh, it's not in catchment. Oh, I would have thought it would have been close enough. Okay, so let's think about that then. So let's see, if I grab a road. Okay, so with that being the case, I'm going to delete this out, and I'm going to center these buildings actually here. So let's see, if I put that there, delete these out, and then put like a loading dock there. And then we can just run that down like that. So now that's all in catchment. And I think that that looks good. I'm going to come through here with a little bit of grass. Actually, let's get these tracks set up first. So if I delete some of this out. Just going to get this out of the way. And that does maintain 75, so I'm okay with that. And then we'll merge that in, and then I'll put a cross in right here. And then we just need to reroute this track. And I just realized that we've been doing this with electrified track that doesn't need to be electrified because this is all diesel up here. So we'll just unelectrify all of this like that. And now we'll go ahead and add our signals back in. So I'll put a one-way there. We've got signals down to there. And now, I don't think there's any reason that we would connect this up going the other direction. So I think with that being said, I'm just going to add in some signals here. Check the lines, they're still running. So now we can let this run. And now I want to come in here and just clean up a little bit of this. So I'm going to grab this, whatever this is called, the ballast. I'm just going to clean up in here, and then I'll probably come in here with some grass. Clean this up a little bit. And then come in here and maybe add a, a tree or two. That. And then maybe a tree here as well. It's a little close. So maybe we'll put the tree there and then put one of those bushes down right there. And I think that that should work. Okay, so now that's in catchment with this farm, which means we can get some grain moved down here. And I think we have a nice straight piece of track right here. So I'll delete that out. We'll come in here with a station, and we'll do the same thing that we just did. So I'll come in here, I'll delete out this, add the tracks in for the pass-through, and then add the platforms in. And now why don't we add in our cargo buildings, like that. And I don't want that to slow down, so we'll back this out just a little bit to get a nice smooth curve in there. Once again, we're electrifying this by accident, so we'll delete that out. We'll merge that in. And then we'll add in our cross here, and then we'll add our signals back in. And now again, this is going to be moving grain down here, but I don't think it needs to carry on, so I don't think there's any reason to add this track in, because we're just going to truck the meat down here. So I think that that's good for now. Now the question is, can I connect these up? So if I run this road like this, maybe delete that out. Is that in catchment? Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. So now we can set up a new line, and it's going to be running from this grain facility down here. Maybe we'll make it a green color so that it really stands out. Maybe a bit darker green. And I want it to wait for full load for maybe 5 minutes before it heads down here. And now this will be our rail line. And this will be Springfield to New Haven, grain, and eventually food. And then I want them to wait similarly for full load. Actually, no, I just want them to load what's available, because I want them to continue to feed grain into here. I don't want them to get hung up waiting for food. So now we'll come up here and we can add a train onto here. So let's get a diesel train, maybe one of these EMD GP9s. And we're going to be moving grain and food, which means I'm going to need a mixed train. So let's do the grain first. And then maybe fill it out with food. Something like that. Let's get this on that grain food line. So now this should start to put grain onto there. Perfect. Okay, now let's continue on. So we're going to get one stop. And I'll add this in here. Maybe with a little shed building. And now these are just going to drive down here, cross this track here, and then bring it right down to this facility. So we'll add that in right there. Just put a building in just for the appearance of it. Make that platform a little bit longer. And then put our exit road. I'm actually going to come up here. I'm going to put a larger building on here because this actually might buffer a little bit. Okay. So now that will drop the food off down here. So now let's add a new line. And it'll just run in between these. We'll make it like a green color. And I want these trucks to wait for full load up at this facility for the cattle. And now this is going to be our truck route. It's all in New Haven. And this is, what are they moving? Cattle and eventually food. So now if we come in here, we have a tram depot, we have a road depot right here. So let's get some trucks on here. And we're going to have to use these tarpaulins. So why don't we get maybe 4 to start. And now I have some ideas of what I want to do here. And I think I might use just a quick train. Put a station in right here. Put it onto this route. And then use this facility to drop off the meat. And then just drive it over here. And then drive it back. Drive the food back. I don't know if it's worth it, but what I'm trying to avoid is establishing a road connection between this fuel facility or between these two cities. I don't want people necessarily to drive between these two. So if I connected this with a road, people would then start to use that route for passenger purposes. So I'm just going to delete that out real quick. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to add another stop. So let's see if I add another stop here. And then add our cargo buildings. Like that. Need to see where we can sneak a road through over here. Connect that up. Okay, so now that's connected up. And now I just need to connect this into this line. And I think to do that, I think we're going to have to move this back a little bit. So if we come in here, we pull this back. And then we add our cross in right there. And now we put our signals back in. So now that fuel line is still functioning. This is still connected, so that should all work. So now we can let the game run again. And now what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put a rail yard in right here. So if we come in here with a terminus 240 meter platform. And just add that in like right there. Come in here with a little bit of gravel. Just fill that out. And now we grab our tracks. Yeah, so I think we'll do that. And then we'll grab where this connects. We'll branch that off. We're maintaining good speed. We'll connect that in. Okay, we got a new plane. Cool. And then we'll add in our signals here at that merge. And then I'm going to bump these down and then shift these just a little bit. So now I'll get rid of these. And then I'll get rid of these. Okay, so now that's tied in. So now we can establish a new line running from here up here. And why don't we make this purple color? And at New London, I want this to go to platform 1. So it'll go onto its own rail line. Down here, I want it to wait for full load for maybe 5 minutes before it leaves. And then I want it to pick up whatever it's got coming back. So now this will be New Haven to New London, meat and food. Maybe I'll make it a red color. Okay, so now that's going to move the meat down here. And now we're going to need a bridge across here. So why don't we grab something like that. And we'll connect that in there. And now we're just going to need a platform here. Connect this up. And then we're going to need a platform down here. And we will connect this up. And now why don't we get a road depot just tucked in here as well, so that we can get some trucks on this line. We have to establish the line first. And at Lower New London, wait forever. And now this is going to be our truck route, and this is New London, meat and food. Perfect. So now if we come in here and we buy some vehicles, I assume, yeah, we're going to have to use these tarpaulins, so maybe 3 of them. Quick autosave. So we'll grab all 3 of these and we'll throw them on that line. So now let's pause it real quick. So we got, if we go back to the start here, so we have grain being produced. On this line, we have a train that's going to move grain down here. So you can see this is full of grain. It's going to drop the grain here. We got trucks waiting to take the meat down here. Drop it off here. If there's any food, they're going to grab it on their way back. Same thing with the train. Okay, so we need to get a train onto here. That's the one thing that we're missing right now. So why don't we put a siding right here? We'll pull this all the way down, and then we'll get a non-one-way signal right here. So now why don't we grab a train on here? We're going to use diesel. This goes 50. Yeah, we'll probably go with one of these. And now to move meat and food, we need box cars. So why don't we get maybe 6 of them? And we'll put that on the... There we go. And we'll put that on this line. Okay, so now we have a train on there, so this should start to recognize, well, let's see. Has this gotten any grain yet? No. So this will come down here, drop the grain into this facility. So let's just see when it gets here. Okay, so now this is going to start to recognize the meat processing facility. So now that's going to recognize this facility, and this train is going to work its way down. Nope, that's the train delivering machines. Let's see where our... Yeah, here's our train here. So that's going to come down here. We got a truck leaving with cattle. Okay, so let's see this now. So this guy's going to wait for a full load. So now this has cattle. So now this is going to start to recognize, yeah, the New London food processing. Awesome. And then these trucks are just going to wait here until this gets going. So now something tells me we're probably not going to be producing enough grain. Okay, so I see what this is doing now. It's waiting for a full load. What if I change this to any? Yep. Hopefully that works the way that I want it to. We'll see. But anyway, so now... Okay, so now I see a flaw. This isn't going to start producing food until we establish the return journey, which is going to be a truck route delivering the food into Springfield. So, to do that, I think what we're going to do... Let's see, can I squeeze one of these in here? Potentially. Maybe. I mean, I can definitely put it in over here. So why don't I put that right there? Come into here. We'll add on a couple platforms. Delete that off. Add an entrance and an exit. And now I'm going to grab one of these roads. Pull it across there. Connect that up. And now while we're here, why don't we go ahead and clean some of this up. We fill this area in with dirt. We'll fill this area in with dirt as well. And now why don't we come through here and add in a few trees. Just like that. And now let's come over here and add a drop off. So they're going to be coming in on this road. Maybe drop here, and then exit. So if we come through here and we establish a new truck route, running just like that. Maybe we'll make it yellow. And I want these trucks to wait forever. So this is going to be our Springfield food route. And now, do we have a truck stop? We don't. We don't have a depot around here, but I think I'll squeeze one in. Maybe right here. And now we can get some trucks on here. Maybe 3. And they'll come up here and sit at that. Okay, so now the line should be established. And this has some meat on it, which is great. And the great thing about this is that this is all 1-to-1. So, grain comes down here. 1 grain makes 1 cattle. 1 cattle makes 1 meat. But then when we get down here, 1 meat actually makes 2 food. So this should work really well. So like this 40 meat should turn itself into 80 food when it's all said and done. And this has a ton of grain stored up. Well, it did just get a drop off, so we'll have to see how that works. But now this meat should come down here. And these trucks should take it and head on out of here. And truthfully, 3 trucks might be a little overkill, but we'll see. And we're starting to get a good amount of meat on this platform, which is great to see. Now let's see how we're doing with grain. We've got 125 on this platform, and this train can carry 144. So I don't think we're quite ready for another train on there yet. Yeah, and it's actually doing what I want, which is it's loading full up on grain and then leaving. Okay. So that's working great, and honestly, guys, I think this is going to bring us to the end of the episode. There was a lot more stuff that I really wanted to do, but I just don't think we have the time for it. So thank you guys very much for sticking around. If you made it all the way through this video, I really appreciate it. If you made it all the way through and you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to the channel for more. It's really motivating, and I love getting new subscribers, and I'm really excited to keep making videos. We have a ton more still to do on this map. If you guys have suggestions or things that you want me to try out in the future, definitely leave them in the comments, and like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So thank you very much. Bye.